Jim, how did you get involved in your Far Eastern philosophies, the study of your Far Eastern philosophy?
Oh, I've just been interested in self-evolution, you know, to evolve yourself to your highest possible potential. And in the philosophies of the East, there are a lot of tools that you can use. Meditation tools and also practical tools, practical things that you can do. And it's not all from the East, it's from all kinds of philosophies, you know, it's an amalgamation of philosophies. It all goes to the same place, but it has to do with the evolution of the individual. And America, its founding fathers they wrote the Constitution around that principle, that the individual is the thing. We've forgotten about that, I think. And now it's the opposite of socialism. It's where man takes care of himself. And by taking care of himself, he takes care of the world. And that's basically my philosophy, and I try to practice that.
Mm-hmm. You know, when you were a GI stationed in Germany, an older German man told you something one day, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he was beautiful.
People might think you're crazy doing it, but I wish you'd repeat that.
Yeah, well, I was in Wiesbaden. Germany was a beautiful town, and there's a park behind a big theater square, and the opera house and the concert hall and the theater. And I was waiting for the Eagles Club, which was a GI club, a service club, to open up to get a shave and everything. And I was hungover from the night, and I was really feeling sad and sorry for myself. I was sitting on a bench looking, you know, looking across this great expanse of green grass and the swan swimming in the pool, and this great tree. I don't know what kind of tree it was, but it was just overpowering with its, and I was looking at it, you know, feeling, well, you know, I'm nothing compared to that. And sitting on the bench, about 10 feet away from me, the old German fellow with a stiff collar and a black tie and a black suit sitting there. You know, he looked over at me and he saw the kind of state I was in, and he asked me, he says, well, do you ever talk to trees? And I said, talk to trees? No, I never talked to. Do you talk to trees? What do they say? And he says, oh, I never ask them questions. Yeah.
So you do talk to things other than human beings.
So now I talk to trees, but I don't ask them questions. He was right. You know, you have to go out there and say, you're beautiful today. And they grow and they are happy, and flowers and things. Yeah, that was, if you're open to things like that.
Well, now, do you play the flute? Do you play the flute and the bongo drums for the trees, or just get out and do that for yourself?
Oh, no, I just play the flute. Flute, I've got a couple of gongs that I keep around. I play the flute I carry the flute around with me all the time. It's good for it breaks all of the crystallization of the mind when you get bogged down in a thought or a problem of some kind. You come to an end of things, and nothing, you know, it causes a kind of stressful condition. So I play the flute, and it's an impossible instrument to play, and I don't play it very well, but I play it enough to get some sound out of it, and if I just let it go, it takes me on a little trip, and it breaks all of that crystallization down and sends me off free. So when I come back to the problem, I can deal with it.
You've recently been quoted as saying that you're beginning your 7th life cycle. What do you mean by that?
Well, I don't know. It seems to run in cycles. 7-year cycles is a particular one that seems to affect me a lot. And if it's on an ascending scale, I have, you know, it's like a reorganization. It's like coming back to do again on another octave. And entering that other octave, you have to begin all over again with everything that you've come into with. So that's kind of a cleaning out, you know, getting rid of a lot of old karma and trying not to pick up any bad karma on the next, on this new level, which is very difficult. I mean, it's life is something that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's not a long-term thing. You have to set down a particular aim that will take you, that will be a food for you to go with, and you can use that as the motor, and it'll take you on your way. But You need a name. You know, it's one of the things about the United States that really bothers me. We seem to be an aimless society now. We're a crisis. We respond only to crisis. You know, when something happens, then we go out there and do something. But we need an aim. We need to establish ourselves and go ahead and do things, except responding to crisis. That's nonsense.
We were talking about the Far Eastern philosophies. I was just wondering if you ever practiced Kung Fu or any of the other martial arts.
Kung Fu, yes. Bruce Lee was a great friend of mine, and we used to work out together for a long time. It was very close. We were very close friends. And
he was a very interesting gentleman, wasn't he?
Bruce?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. He was a groovy guy. Yeah. I was very sorry to see him go.
What do you think made him so unique?
Well, he related everything, his whole life was related to martial arts. He lived, breathed, thought, moved, everything was dedicated to the highest principle of his own self-evolution. He created himself. Bruce Lee was a little Chinese guy who demanded of himself great excellence. I mean, he was a true artist in that respect. He created himself. And that's what I think. He was an unusual man. He was beautiful. I don't know what to say about him, you know, because of the perfection that he achieved was awe-inspiring. I mean, he was the fastest moving person you've ever seen. I mean, you'd reach out and pew, he was like a poo all over the place. We used to work out up his place, and he had a 700-pound bag hung on a big L iron, you know, or what do they call them, stuck in his patio, and it would on a big spring. And he would kick that thing and double it over. And I would kick it, and it would double me over. But he would, boom, get that thing to swing and back and forth and pop it and pop it. He was amazing, really amazing. And he's a great loss. A loss to me. I miss him daily.
Let's talk about somebody. Okay, you found somebody now. You have a loss there. Let's talk about Lindsay DePaul, because she's your best friend right now. I think that's the way they're saying it.
Oh, yeah.
In showbiz today, aren't they?
She's great. She's a singer, songwriter. She's in London right now, working on a project. She has a guy she's producing. She's going to do some of her songs, and she's going to do an album over there.
Go do your tunes?
No.
Losing the Blues, and what is it, Melancholy Melon?
And Melancholy Melon, yeah. Isn't that a funny time? It's a funny song. Yeah.
She's a very talented lady, though.
Yeah, she's talented. She's beautiful and bright. And we've been together I guess about almost, this summer it'll be 3 years. How time flies.
Well, you were married to the same lady for about 18 years, and you did something else that's different in this town. You're still very good friends.
Oh, yeah.
And
oh, sure. I mean, you're with somebody for 17 years. Why should you be friends anyway? Yeah.
And I believe, how old is your son now?
He's 18.
Would you like for him to follow in the same kind of business you're in?
If he wants to, sure, why not? I'll support him. I'll support whatever he wants to do, as long as he's in Rhodesia right now.
What's he doing there?
He's taking in impressions of a changing society. I thought it would be interesting for him to see the world. So for his birthday present, for his graduation present, I gave him a year to travel around the world and see what he wanted to do, if he could find something, find himself, find something that inspired him to want to become, or whatever, to devote his life to. And I have a friend down in Rhodesia, and so he's been showing him around South Africa. And it's also good for him to establish his own identity. And living in Beverly Hills, he's always had to share an identity with me, and that's very hard for a kid. I mean, they're always thinking, well, he's going to be an actor, or he's going to be, so he had to kind of be develop a false personality, a side of himself that wasn't really his. And down there, he's all by himself, and he's doing the thing on his own. He's whatever trouble he gets into, he has to get out of it. And I think it's really good for him to He's got, you know, he's having experiences that he doesn't have to share with me or his mother. I mean, he's developing a whole backlog of experiences that I think he'll feed off of for the rest of his life.
Well, speaking of travel, your travel agent, Sam Peckinpah, has set you up for a couple of things here. One is to the Far East and one is to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So you're going to be packing your bags pretty quick now, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, we're going to Japan to see a premiere of Kurosawa's latest film. Sam was invited over there to attend the premiere of the film, and him and a guest, and I'm his guest. And then we're going back to Oklahoma City, where Sam's getting the first John Ford Memorial Award.
At the National Cowboy Hall of Fame.
Yeah, at the National Cowboy Hall of Fame. And you're going down there, too.
I'll be there. I'll see you there.
So we should have a ball.
We'll have a great time there. And what a night. And I know one day you've made that many Westerns. I know you'll be in there. I kind of got the feeling. Are you going to present an award, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to. I don't know to whom or, you know, what the award is, but they've asked me to do that, so I'll present one.
And Gene Autry is moving up into the highest echelon of the Cowboy Hall of Fame.
Good.
I'm sure you've done a picture. Have you done a picture with Henry Fonda?
Yeah, the Midway.
That's true. Yeah, Midway.
It's the only time I've had an opportunity to work with Hank.
And he's going into the Hall of Fame that night. And posthumously, Tex Ritter and Dorothy and his son John will be there to accept it. Let's see who else is going to be there. Another great writer, Mishner, James Mishner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be in there. So we'll have a great time,
Yeah,
won't we?
that should be fun.
Well, I've enjoyed this, and I hope you have.
Okay, Johnny, so have I. Thank you very much.
And I really enjoyed the film.
Well, good. I'm glad. Well, I hope that people have responded really well to it. I mean, I'm very pleased about that.
Well, there he is, folks, the Baltimore Bullet. And I'm Johnny Grant, backstage.